What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Good morning. Let's see here. Let me get a couple of things. Oh, working for me. All right. Bum, 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 bum. What do we have happening in the markets this morning? Up and then down. All right. So we're down 1.62%. That's new. Is this where it happens? Maybe. All right. Wow, we're just starting with a nice big fat red candle. Cool. Hold on, getting emails. Okay, so what are we going to talk about this morning? We can all see what the market's doing. Maybe I should stop talking about like the moves the market's making. I don't think that's really the benefit. That's not something a lot of guys can do that. A lot of people are great at technical analysis. We can all look and see, oh, it's going down, it's going up. If anybody ever shows up and is out there, ask me a question, man. Let me know. Well, let's see here. Let me get my NQ Bookmap Live. Let's pull this up. Let's kill the audio on it because it has that audio. Look at that. We don't have a ton of liquidity anywhere. Oh boy. So, what are we trading in here? I got two accounts. I have an eval and I have a pro account. Now, we're going to trade them separately. I'm not tying them together today. Now, I try not to trade in the first 15 minutes. I try. Doesn't always work out. Sometimes I break my rule. I think sometimes we all break our rules, right? However, I have found that morning moves are so volatile and kind of unpredictable that while a lot of times I win and I tend to have big wins if I trade in the first 15 minutes, guess what? You're right. I also have big losses. So I'm just not gonna. Big losses tend to have a real negative impact on me. I mean, I know that maybe sounds like the most Captain Obvious statement of all time, but big losses will send me. It's the kind of thing that's likely to send me into a spiral downward, and so I'm going to try to avoid them. What I'm trying to focus on with this channel is more about, I guess, a mindset. Is psychology is sort of the phrase everybody uses, but I think that that's maybe oversimplifying it because we're talking about brain, right? Like mindset, brain, psychology. But I really do think that a lot of it is like, it's kind of like emotional awareness is the thing that we really need. We need to be able to be really like brutally honest with ourselves, be like vulnerable with ourselves, and we need to be able to say like, I feel like I'm spiraling, right? I feel uh, super fearful, right? I think what everybody's always trying to do is we're always trying to learn how to just grin and bear it. How do I white knuckle my way or bite the bullet and just, handle it? Because we feel like that's somehow meeting the goal, meeting the objective. But I think that the key is to stop fighting your emotions. And the key is to learn to identify them. And when you can actually learn to identify them, You can learn to recognize them when they're popping up, and from there you can actually like start to develop a system and for how you're actually going to handle it. I've been using the werewolf metaphor a lot, right? If you're a werewolf and you know you're a werewolf, you have to chain yourself to the dungeon walls before the full moon comes out. You can't wait and say, like, well, as soon as I see the full moon, I'll run down into the dungeon and I'll chain myself up because by then it's too late, right? And the same thing kind of goes with trading. You need to learn to recognize what's your full moon, what's going to make the werewolf come out, where it's like you go offline and this new horrible creature uh, wrecks the whole village, right? Ruins your whole life. You need to take care of that. The only person who's going to do it is you. So, so when I go through something today, maybe I take a trade and it's an L, and I'm going to talk about how I feel about it. Right? It's been happening in the last couple of days where I'll take a loss, and look, I know that losing is part of trading. I I know it. There's lots of things I know with my logical mind that don't always show up in my behavior, right? Because my behavior isn't always based on logic. And if you think your behavior is always based on logic, I highly recommend that you stop trading and and maybe go to therapy and humble yourself a little bit because we're far more likely to act on feeling. I I used to teach college communications, media, storytelling courses. And when we were talking about messaging and the intent of a message, right? Like marketing, advertising, something like that, any story, like kind of like what's your call to action and how are you going to get people to take action? And one of the things that I used to always talk about is like emotion is way more powerful than information, right? I'll give you an example. 12 noon comes up every day and I don't say, it's getting to be midday. I should probably ensure that my body has the fuel and the calories required to continue performing at a high level throughout the rest of the day. No, my stomach growls and I go, oh man, I feel hungry. I'm going to go eat. I act based off of my feeling, right? This feeling of discomfort propels me to action. And guess what happens in trading all the time? A feeling of discomfort. And it's going to propel you into action. But you can't really trust the action that feeling, like when your stomach growls and it hurts, you're hungry and you go eat. That's a nice and simple one, right? Because we know how to handle that. But with trading, it's like a new kind of discomfort for us. And even if you've been trading for a long time, it's still sort of like not a natural feeling. You're fighting this feeling of like loss and scarcity, and you're fighting, the fear of resource scarcity, like you're a caveman, right? So we got to find ways to deal with that. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to learn to acknowledge what's going on. We're going to find ways to deal with it. We're going to examine our emotions from a slightly different angle, maybe get a little bit of a different perspective on it. And we're going to hope that over time, we can begin to make changes to our behavior and we can get rid of our worst habits and we can build new solid habits. So that's what I'm trying to do here. Now, we are approaching time to trade, and we are approaching the overnight low at 29,142, and that's my setup. Let's see what we have here. We've got a good bit of volume, but we don't have like that hard sell wall. Like I want to see like a nice hard I want to see a nice hard, thick, girthy, throbbing red line here. Sorry, everybody. It's not what I want to see, but I, I want to see. I want to see uh, participation in the market. Oh, that's funny. All right. So as we approach overnight lows, if we get, yeah, see, it's starting to build here. See this little red line? We've got this little like influx of orders on the book. I'm getting this red line. It's building a little bit, even though price is kind of running away from it. But what we want to do, we'll see which account we want to actually trade this with. I feel like I might be like doxing myself every time I do this, am I? Yeah, kind of. Somebody could figure that out, but all right, 20 seconds until the opening 15 minutes are over. I do not trade like an orb strategy. I know a lot of that's like really like gained in popularity again. It sort of comes and goes a little bit, but some people have been posting on Reddit for the last few months, like, oh, super profitable with orb. Um, I don't trade orb, but I just don't like trading in the first 15 minutes because of big moves. But look here, we got this candle starting to boogie. I don't love the way this candle's shaking out. It looks like it's gonna plunge lower, literally off of the overnight low. That's funny. That's funny. I was wrong about it plunging lower, huh? Let's see. I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna pull up Walter Bloomberg. Let's see if we got any news here. China Commerce Minister met with Qualcomm CEO and the Visa CEO. Nvidia shares fall 3.6%. Microsoft shares up 1.2. Bill Ackman says he'll disclose a new position in the company later. Work on hantavirus outbreak is not finished. Risk from hantavirus is low. Yeah, I think we may be due for a little bit of a red day here. And if we come down to this level here, man, we really don't have like a ton of orders on the books, do we? Whoa, I think we're going down, down. I'm not taking a trade just yet because this is the kind of thing where if we start plummeting and I'm trying to take a long on a bounce, I'm going to get absolutely wrecked. There's still a lot more to go here. We got a long way down. Oh, look at that. So that's usually pretty close to my play. I like a big extended move. I like the candle to be over ATR, significantly over ATR if possible. I like to come into a big psychological number, maybe something with, not maybe, but something with a lot of orders on the books. And I like to take a quick counter scalp. That said, the price action's been so weird lately and everything's been moving so funny that I just didn't feel a ton of confidence in it. And one of the things that I'm learning is, and really trying to work on, is only taking trades when I really feel confident about it, and not taking trades just because I want to get in a trade, and I don't want to overfit. Now to be fair, that was not overfitting. That would have been perfect. And see, like right now, I feel like, oh, we're gonna go up. We probably are. I got this eval account. I could jump in on. I want to because I'm certain this is going up. Hands off. I'm not missing anything. All right. I feel like I'm missing something. I'm getting FOMO, right? And now here's what I figured out. When I get FOMO and I want to jump in and I want to chase, and I'm afraid that this big move is going to be the thing and I'm going to miss it. What I need to do, I want to trade, so I'm going to perform some other trading related action, right? So I'm gonna do some analysis here. So let's see. Do I have any significant levels on the books? Not really. 29.50. Let's zoom out a little bit and let's see. All right, I got this downtrend. I don't play trend lines really, but I mean there's a very clear kind of like downtrend channel here. And so we're probably coming back up toward the top of the trend line. I don't think that's going to be my play. Around 250 here, that's a decent round psychological number. We've had a few bounces. It may act as resistance. Let's see if we're getting more stuff on the books. Really not significant enough. So we're going to hang tight here. Now, high volume, big candle. Let's go to the 1 minute and let's see where all the volume came in. Look at that. Most of the volume, the biggest candle was red. We high volume down into that level and then huge engulfing green, taking that out. And now let's see what this red candle is going to do. I don't really trade off of the 1 minute, but I do like to use the 1 minute sometimes to get in and see like where did the volume really come in on that last candle, right? So like that 5 minute candle had a lot of volume. I just want to zoom in a little bit and see like where was it? Was it on the sell? Was it on the buy? Was it a little bit of both? It seems to have been on the sell. All right, so here we go. Back to my 5. Here we go. Are we coming down? What's this level? 150. Got anything there? Not really. Okay. So see what kind of just happened for me, what I figured out for myself is when I feel that urge to like jump in and trade, if I can distract myself for a couple of minutes, that urge will sort of go away. And like, thank God I didn't jump in and chase, right? It went a little higher, but I think I kind of dodged a bullet. My emotions are really terrible traders. My head's not so great either. How do we get some people in here? I haven't figured that part out yet. Let's see here. All right, up we go, huh? Let's see. So I'm getting something going over here in another window. One of the things that I've been doing to try to just keep myself occupied, because I find it's not good for me to sit and stare all day at every tick. I'll start overfitting. I'll start trying to find ways, "Oh, what about a new strategy?" And but if I can distract myself from some things, and one of the things I've been doing lately is data annotation. It's a service where they'll pay you to like review AI responses and help train AI models and stuff. It's not a ton of money, but it's beer money, it's coffee money, and I'm sitting here anyway. So anyway, I was just pulling it up, getting it ready. Now see, this is going up. That's what I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say this is going up. But watch. See this? I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh yes, I do. Let's see what else we can play with. Let's take a look at Heikinashi candles. Let's see if they're helpful at all. I like Heikinashi candles. I just like the way they look. They're pretty. I feel like if I was a trend trader, Heikinashi would be my jam. I tried for a little while doing Heikinashi. I tried doing ticks. Man, I've tried everything. I'll tell you what, the only thing that worked for me, I mean, really and truly, the only thing that actually worked when I started um, was when I said, I mean, I keep losing. Like I looked at my P&L and it was like this. It was like straight down. And I was like, man, this is like not random. I need to do the opposite. We all joke and say like, "Oh, I should do the opposite," but I really did the opposite. And that's when I started finding like, "Oh, look at this! Like this actually does kind of work." Like in times when I'd want to enter and chase, I would, instead of going long with a breakout, I would short, and all of a sudden I'd be in profit. And I was like, "Whoa, well, that happened quickly." And like, what do you know? And I learned about trading on the edges, and that's where I like to trade. I have a thing I tell myself, like a little trading mantra or rule, which is like, you have no edge at VWAP. I have no edge at VWAP. Now, I do sometimes take a trade at VWAP. However, um, it's not my favorite. I'd much rather trade on the fringes. Let's see. We have any good orders on the books? We got not much of anything. I mean, even here at 200 is not very much. We just kind of blew through 200, which is, it's a round enough psychological number that there should be something. Look, I mean, we've got a lot of volume happening here at 200. I would have thought that would have done something. Now we are ATR is 63, is that right? And this is, let's see, high and low, a little over 100. So that's good. All right, all right, all right. Keep it pushing, push it on down. I'm gonna take a quick little long here in just a second. If we get one more good solid push down, do that. And no. All right, 70. Could have held out for a little more, but a lot of times it's time based. Oh, this is my I thought this is my live account, not my. Step one, know what account you're trading in, fella. All right, there we go. All right, there's a big and fast little move on the new candle, so I'm gonna sit tight here for just a second. But let's take a quick look here. 275. All right, look at that. Our eval's getting close to funded levels. I still have a couple days left on it, so it's no stress, baby, no stress. Now let's move over to our actual pro account here. Let's see what we can do. We got any big orders on the books? All right, we got a little wall starting to show up here at 29,100. That's not huge. That's something we can blow right through here. But what I'm doing is I'm getting set and I'm getting prepared for that, because I think somewhere right around here, assuming that orders will continue to pile up, maybe right around here, we could take a quick little scout. All right, up we go. All right. Growing a little bit down here by 29,100. Got overnight lows at 29.89. So that's what I want. That's what I want. I want to catch a bounce right down here. I'm going to wait for it, and I'm going to really hope that it sets up. And then if it doesn't set up, and I'm going to fight the urge to jump in and change my mind and be like, oh, what I actually wanted to do was go short. This area right here has been a real. Let's see. Can I draw? Can't. There we go. Look. Kind of a real battleground right in here, you know? I'm curious. Nope, nope, nope. Oof. Sheesh. That could be bad. I should really need to find a way to turn that off. How can I delete it? Nope. I gotta find a way to turn that off. That is dangerous, man. Sometimes I find it really helpful for me. I watch over here. I like to watch the ladder. Learn to recognize, sort of how it moves over here. That's a moment. I recognize that this is one I need to sit out of. All right. All right. So here we go. I just thought about the fact that I haven't taken a trade in this account and that this account is, actual money. I have a haircut at noon. I should probably hop in the shower for a minute so that she's cutting clean hair. And I'm like, oh, I should probably take a trade. And I'm still looking at this and wanting to take a trade. But I need to not do that. Busy myself with something else for a minute. Because look, there's no trade setting up here. I don't have what I need. You know? So like we're just sort of hanging out over here. All right, big green. Up toward a psychological level, but not a level where there's much of a cell wall. So I'm not looking for too much here. Oh, new candle. Good to know. Hmm. That's funny. I really wanted that. I really wanted to take that a minute ago. I wanted to take that long down here. I'm glad I didn't, but it would have been nice. But it wouldn't have really followed like any real system that I have. Right. So let's see here. maybe 350. The ATR is 70. Low is 74 here, which means we need to get to about 50, and that'd be ATR. That was a pivot earlier. Hiccups. Yeah, I'm not taking it at 50 here. The way this is moving, I think we're going to probably zip kind of right through that. I have 51. Did we eat it all? Yeah, we ate all of it. We're going up. All right, we got 4 greens in a row here. And we've gone from 130 to 360. This is about a 200-point move in about 20 minutes. But I mean, just a quick reminder, this is what we've been doing lately, right? So like this isn't surprising to me. Here we go. Next round. Next little liftoff. Where do we have stuff? Nowhere. We got stuff nowhere. above us. How about at 400? Anything sitting up there? A little bit, but not too much. Give it a minute. Interesting. I don't know that I've ever really seen like, it just looks a little funny today. Bookmap looks a little weird. All right, all right, all right. Here we go. Just quickly hop over here real quick. Here I'm talking to the mute button. Looks like we're coming back down toward 29,300. We got a little psychological level here. There's not a ton of liquidity on the books. We've been through here a couple of times today. I think that we could probably anticipate a little bounce, but I actually think we may be a little after it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go right in here. I'm going to wait until if we get one push just under 300. So what's my low here? 303. We've already been to 300. I kind of want like 292-ish. All right, let's see. But I want it in one push, so I'm going to pull this really quickly. I'm going to wait. I'm going to try to time it instead of setting a level. I'm going to do it based off of a move. See here, see the tops of these? 280 maybe? Let's let it push. Plenty of time in this. Little liquidity sitting just below 87. All right. No, see, all that liquidity is just dried up. Let's take a look at what this looks like as it's going here. Mm-hmm. 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 Come on. Come on, baby. You can do it. You can do it. Nope. Probably a pretty good example of overfitting here. I think I may have overfit this. And now I'm feeling a little trapped, but I don't want to take this L. I don't want to take it, but I should take it. But I just feel like just hold it. Just hold this for a second. Oh. I'm glad that worked out. I'm happy that worked out. That made me feel good. That was good. Let's see. What was that trade? 345. Good. Good trade. I'm going to lock it for about 5 minutes here. Just until, let's see, what time is it? We're going to go 10:35. I'm going to lock it real quick because that was tough. I'm going to think about how I feel for a minute, then I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Now, listen. That was a bad trade. I should not have taken that trade. It wasn't into a significant level. The candle wasn't even approaching ATR. Um, I wasn't on the edge of anything. I was right in the middle. That was a bad trade. It did not follow my system at all. And I'll tell you one of the ways that I know is that when it went against me, I started hoping. I was like, oh, come on. And then it came back my direction. The trade went my way. And I didn't feel confident at any point during that trade. And when it went my way, I felt relief. I felt a sense of like, oh, thank God, which tells me I should not have been in that trade, right? I was bored. I was overfitting. I was trying to make money for the day. I was not letting the market present me with an opportunity. I think of the way that I trade as being like trying to run across uh, an interstate in traffic, right? I I need to before I run across the lanes, I need to make sure that I'm going to make it, right? And that was one where I was a little too close and I was like, "Oh, that car almost hit me," right? I really got lucky. Maybe that car might have even swerved out of the way for me and I probably should have been hit and I wasn't because of some other factor, right? So, I got lucky. I should not have taken that trade. That was a bad trade. I'm relieved that I made my money. And I'm not going to try to, I could come up, I literally was just, I walked away for a minute and I was thinking about it and I was like, I could come up with a reason why it was a good trade. I could justify it. Oh man, I could justify it. Um, it wasn't. It was a bad trade. And I got lucky. Now I see up above me a little wall here at 29,400, 60 points up or so. We'll hold tight and wait for that.